We're battered. We are impacted. We're battered. We're ready to get up. We want to win. Light the fire of power that make us free. We never break down. We want to win. We are impacted. The best team.
Hello and welcome back to TNI-UK Impacted episode 154, coming to you live via the Total Non-Stop Impact Network on YouTube and Twitch. And if you're listening on the go, then we're also available on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. I'm your host, Bison, and today I am joined, of course, by the man coming to us from the void, the Joker.
How you doing, guys?
Well, I'm one guy. I'm doing good. And I'm unfortunately Steve's not joining us this week. He's a bit tied up with work, so it's just going to be me and my boy Joker having some fun talking about Impact Wrestling. Sound all right?
Yeah.
Good. How's
Well,
your
guys,
week been?
I'll be right back. It's bloody leaping. It's been good. It's been same old, but it's been okay. You know, only realised today it's 30 months, 30 days to my bloody birthday next month. So that to bury my head in the sand for.
And you are going to be how old, Joe? How old are you going to be?
34.
Wow, 134. My God,
Yep.
fair play. Fair play. Simply Steve is doing the job squad right now. That's what he's doing. That's what he's up to. Hey, Simon, nice to see you. And of
Hey,
course,
welcome.
Mir's joining us. He's always the first, Mir. I'll give him his due. He's always the first. So welcome to the show, guys. We appreciate you coming and giving us your love. That's the important thing. We appreciate it. We do. Now, guys, we are well and truly on the road to Bound for Glory, aren't we? Well, I mean,
Oh yes.
some amazing. We've already got some incredible matches. Some incredible matches coming up. But obviously, we're going to be doing the Bound for Glory preview show next week. So we're going to preview it. We're going to talk about all the matches. We're going to have a good rundown, have a think about where we think things are leading. But next week is going to be the Bound for Glory preview show. So if you guys, want to have a good chat about that, if you want to leave your own predictions next week, then make sure you join us in the chat, because I really want to know what all you guys think about it, about the build to it. I want to know about what you think about the matches, because I'm telling you, it's going to be a hell of a show. It's going to be a hell of a pay-per-view. And, it'll make Wrestle Dream look like, NWA. That's what it's going to do. That's how good Bound for Glory is going to be. It really is. It's going to be a fantastic show. I'm really looking forward to BFG. What about you, Joe? What are your thoughts?
I'm looking forward to it. It's been built up fantastically, and we've got some of the matches on the Fallout already announced, and they're looking like bloody bangers as well.
That's the incredible thing about it all, isn't it? Like even the matches that are coming out of it is going to be amazing. But it's going to be a hell of a show. But can I just say a quick hello to Terence? He's joined us again, which is good to see. Paul Matthewson. Paul Matthewson's here. He thinks that BFG's looking killer already. Now, I'm sure there's got to be a few more things added to it. It can't be the end of the road. That can't be the final card, because we still got another week to go. We've got another 2 shows.
Barry Monkey's on, and Zach Bannifer's on too. Welcome, guys.
Look at that. Eh? The place is filling. It's like a party. It's like a party in here. It's TNI-UK party week. Partying it down for Bound for Glory. That's what we're doing right now. So it's great to have you guys join us. And it looks like Simon saying that he can't wait for the 5-way match tomorrow to see who's first and last in the gauntlet.
Yeah,
and,
I'm
who are
looking forward to
going
this too.
There's got to be a couple of surprise entrants in that. I think
Yeah.
we might see Shark Boy turn up. That would be cool. We have show everywhere.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
going to be loving that. We're going to be loving that. I tell you what, that would be cool. But either way, I think there's going to be a few people surprised. We might even see a James Storm turn up in the gauntlet. What do you think of that?
That'd be great. That'd be fantastic to see Storm. You know, he looks. You know, he left such a huge impression on the 1000th episode. It'd be good to see some of those guys come back, even just for the stint. You know, if Chris Harris would come back as well, that would be really interesting.
I think there's lots of potential for
Yeah,
some guys to sort of kind of like just turn up and be like, yeah, that's so cool. Be great to have. And Simon's obviously thinking that CM Punk's going to turn up. I mean, I suppose it's more likely that he's going to turn up at BFG than WWE. By the looks of things, it's if the dirt sheets are to be believed. But of course, you can't believe the dirt sheets, can you? Because that's why they're called dirt sheets. But who knows? We just never know. Dead Punk's joined us now, which is good. And he's saying on paper everything looks amazing. The build has been so good, but I have no doubt they'll succeed and deliver, and they'll deliver as well. Of course they will. And I think we are expecting a potential few debuts as well. We know that we've got Myron Reed coming in the Fallout. Who knows? He may actually make his debut on a pay-per-view at Bound for Glory, and then obviously have a debut match at the Fallout. Now, I mean, a lot of people say, oh, why'd you spoil it? Well, I'll tell you now. At the end of the day, right, no disrespect to mine, because people in the know that obviously like independent wrestling, like the smaller brands, know of Myron Reed, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he's not all of a sudden. He's not in that elevated position that if Myron Reed turns out, everyone's going to go, "Wow, that's amazing." He's not going to turn heads. But what he is an incredible young talent that we're excited to see, which is definitely for sure. So I don't think it's a massive spoiler that we know that Myron's coming in. I think it's a good thing that we know that we've seen a few people potentially go over the last sort of few weeks. It's good to see some youngsters with amazing talent.
A lot of the locker room has been pulling for him to come in. Sammy Callahan was pulling for him to come in. Trey Miguel and Zach Windsor saying he needs to come in. So they were all rooting for him to come in, at least by Bound for Glory. So it's happened. So if those guys have got their eye on him and they're bigging him up, then this is going to be something special.
Yeah, no, absolutely no doubt. And Greg from Slowpoke there, I think he's talking about Myron there. I take it you're talking about Myron being excited to get involved with Impact. I think it's amazing. We're getting 3 of the original 4 Rascals together. It's going to be fantastic. It really is. And I'm not sure I agree that Myron is the 4th best Rascal. I think he's just a great Rascal. All 3 of them that we're going to get in Impact Wrestling are fantastic, and I'm really excited to see him go. He is the young goat. There's no doubt about it. He is the young goat. So I'm excited to see him, and it sounds like he's excited to come to Impact. That's what I like to hear. I want people to be excited. I want people to come in and do his thing with Impact. I want this to happen. I think it's good news. I want people to be excited to be on Impact Wrestling. What do you think?
Yeah, well, if you look at the UK talent that's coming on the UK tour, how much they're excited to come into Impact Wrestling there. They're finally getting their shot in the spotlight, so to say. Myron Reed, like you say, the only other place you'd see him on TV would be at Wrestling Revolver, and not everyone tunes into Wrestling Revolver. That's like fight only, really. So, but he's not had a huge amount of exposure in the mainstream, and the Impact Wrestling is usually the go-to place if you want that first step into the spotlight, so to say. And honestly, it's probably the best place to go.
I agree. I think he's going to do a fantastic job for us. You can say that he's Dead Punk. You can definitely say that he's, elevated a little bit with his association with Trey and Wentz, especially with regards to Impact Wrestling. But I have to say, I rate him. I think he's great. I loved a lot of the stuff that he did on. I've seen some of his stuff, obviously, in Wrestling Revolver. I've then gone back and done some research and checked him out on MLW, and I like the guy. I think he's got a lot of potential. He's young, and I think he's got a great future ahead of him. So I'm excited to see Myron Reed. I've been trying to get him on. I've been going on about Myron Reed joining Impact for quite some time since he left MLW. So I'm glad to see it. And Barry saying he'd like to see some larger guys coming to Impact. I agree. We'll see. We'll see. But let's get on to the news, rumors, and of course the Impact recap of the week. Now, Joe Hendry food fight this week was with Bhupinder Gujjar. Definitely worth going and checking it out. You get to know Bhupinder a bit better, and I quite like the way they do these sort of things, because for me it's nice to really start to get to know the talent, a little bit more about them behind the scenes, and you start to buy into them a little bit more and support them because you like them. So I kind of like that. So go and check that out. Food fight, Joe Hendry's food fight with Bhupinder Gujjar, well worth looking at. We've got Joe Alexander's retro review with obviously George Weissman, and they look at they're looking at the Speed Muscle versus Motor City Machine Guns match from Impact back in 2008. One hell of a match. I ain't gonna lie, that was a cracker of a match. So go and check that one out. I have to say, until I watched this, I couldn't remember. I was like, I don't remember this match. Started watching it, and man, I'm like, how can I forget this match? It was fantastic. So go and check that out. Josh Alexander's retro review with George Iceman. Well worth checking that one out. We've also got something new which has been added to Impact Plus. I don't think I saw it on. I don't think I've seen it on YouTube yet. I would imagine it'll turn up on Ultimate Assigners at some point, but at the moment it's just on Impact Plus, and that is a show which is now called Immersed now, and it was featuring, of course, Jake something. Now I'm not sure whether this is going to become a regular thing. I quite liked it. I liked the way it was featuring a talent, talking to them, what their desires are, what their wants are, where they want to go, what they're heading for. And I like the way it was featured around his match at Emergence with Sonata, of course, who is an incredible wrestler. And there was so much respect being shown. I loved it. I thought this is really cool. It's about 9 minutes long, not even 10 minutes. It wasn't very long, but I thought it was really good. So if you get the chance, if you haven't seen it already, go and check it out. It's, like I say, short and sweet, but really good. Really good. Have you watched this, Joe?
I did. I watched it as soon as I saw it pop up. I thought I got to check this out because Jake Something is one of my guys I'm really, really, really into. But this was so good, and they picked a really good match to base it around too, because this is when Jake Something really was launched back into to Impact Wrestling. He came in the Ultimate X, and but this was his first singles match where he really, really stood out. And made that statement that I'm back in Impact Wrestling. He had a couple of wins under his belt, which were incredible matches, but this was his first loss. But even in this one, he looked amazing, and the show of respect between Sonata and Jake Something wasn't just something like for the cameras. It's literally a full blown respect backstage and everything between the two of them.
I thought it was fantastic. I thought this is a great way if you're looking to showcase a talent. And push them into the spotlight. I think the right thing to do for him in his career at the time was to go away.
Yeah,
because
he needed to reassess everything, like he said. Reevaluate what he can do, what he can't do, where he wants to go.
And because he wasn't being seen as a serious potential contender because of the role that he was playing at Impact at that time. So to go away and then reemerge himself. Reemerge himself. You see where I'm coming there?
Yeah.
Reemerge himself as the talent that he truly is. I think it's fantastic. I can see this guy winning big titles in the future. So good luck to him. make sure you go and check it out. Immersed is actually really good. And apparently, Terrence has just said it is on YouTube as well. So go and check it out. It's on YouTube. It's free. It's not, you don't have to pay for it. Even on Impact Plus, it's free. So go and check it out. We also, this week's Knockouts photo gallery is Halloween themed. Go and check it out. It's available to view now on impactwrestling.com. Go and check it out. It's actually a really cool thing. You imagine people like Killer Kelly were getting right into this. So go and check that out. That was a bit of fun. So well worth checking it out. Savannah Evans gets a win over Jessica after a good strong start for Jessica. It took a distraction from Jay Vidal to allow Evans to get the upper hand and eventually pick up the win on BTI. What were your thoughts on this match, Joe?
I liked it. It was good storytelling, and it was like literally it took a distraction from Jay Vidal to finally give Savannah Evans that edge over Havoc. So over Jessica, it's like, so Jessica isn't the joke anymore, but Savannah Evans is showing a bit of weakness though, because it took a distraction for her to overcome Jessica. So it means that I think the relationship between Savannah Evans and Giselle Shaw is going to break soon, because she was looking weak at the start, and she's always seems to be on the losing end of everything. So it's like, how long is she going to be stuck with Giselle Shaw? And now seems to be just to be stuck with Jay Vidal.
I don't know. I think it's a difficult one, really, because I think Savannah
Yeah.
Evans has got so much potential, so much talent.
Yeah, she's someone I want to see pushed into on her own path. I want to see her pushed on her own path, and
it would be
go
interesting
go for the
to see
Knockouts
her.
title.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see her just get fed up with being, associated to somebody else or
Yeah.
somebody else's muscle or whatever, and for her to then just suddenly say fuck this.
Well, if she was to give Giselle Shaw a full Nelson Slam, that would be one of the biggest pops in Impact Wrestling right now.
I think you're right. It would be.
Because that's how over Giselle Shaw is right now.
That's true. She is. Well, yeah. I mean, Giselle is over. There's no doubt about that. She's got to be one of the best heels in the company right now. But there you go. Now Simon is saying that he thinks it's definitely building to Havoc Rosemary return, as they're on a losing streak. So something's going to snap with them as they are. So I got a funny feeling I have this feeling that we're going to see them basically head into the Undead Realm to find Rosemary and Havoc. Something along those sort of lines would be interesting.
We'll get them back around Halloween, that's for sure.
Yeah, I reckon for sure. We then headed into Impact Wrestling, this week's Impact Wrestling, and of course it was none other than the Bariqua Badass herself, Tasha Steelz, versus Killer Kelly. And what a great match to kick off Impact Wrestling. I thought it was a very competitive match. Tasha picks up the win in her first match back with an assist, though, from new tag partner Deonna Purrazzo. What are your thoughts on? I thought it was a killer match. It was a great match. They did a great job. It was fast, furious, quite hard hitting at times. There's a bit of storytelling going on. Killer Kelly was her usual self. Masha was obviously, the cheering her on and all that kind of stuff. I was interested to see that Masha didn't really get involved either, which was interesting. And Deonna comes out, pulls the ref out of the ring, kind of thing, on the count and all that sort of stuff. So which then caused obviously the assist for Tasha to get the victory, which was good. And then of course you see them coming together, and hugs and arms raising and all sorts of stuff like that. So now you are definitely assured that these guys are a tag team. So
they've got a title shot now at Bound for Glory.
They have, but what were your thoughts on how they put this together?
I thought it was brilliant. Deonna Purrazzo made it clear that she spelled it out last week with the history they've got between each other. They trained together. They were together. They worked together in WWE before they both got fired. And they've worked together back behind the scenes since Deonna Purrazzo came to Impact Wrestling. And Tasha Steelz is looking absolutely amazing. It's the first match in 6 months, and she looks like she hasn't lost a beat. And Killer Kelly's just Killer Kelly. She's amazing. absolutely amazing. Love
She's
Killer
one of
Kelly.
my. I'm not going to lie. Killer Kelly and Masha both are, two of my very favorite knockouts on the roster. They're certainly in my top 4. And then I mean, as much as I love Courtney and Rosemary when she's Rosemary or whatever, I at the moment the way it stands, if I was to say, like my favorite wrestler probably would be Rosemary, but
As, with
as it
as the roster
stands,
now.
as the roster is now, I mean, Deanna's obviously up there. Jordan Grace is up there for me. And for me, it's Killer Kelly and Masha. I'm not going to lie. I think those are my top 4 favorite knockouts right now. You could, Mickey obviously is a goat. I wouldn't take nothing away from her at all. I'm enjoying Giselle Shaw, absolutely one of the best heels in the company right now. So, I'm all for it. I think the knockouts division as a whole is fantastic. Trinity has come in and done a fantastic job. I appreciate what she's doing. So, because it's not always about necessarily being the best performer in the ring, which, I'm not saying she's a bad performer. I'm just saying
She's
there
absolutely
are
amazing.
better. I'm saying there are better in the company.
Yeah.
As far as like Jordan, for me, Jordan, Masha, Deanna, they're all better than Trinity in the ring. But she's got that star factor, hasn't she? She's got the X factor. She's got
the charisma, and
Yeah.
like Diana Perazzi's got a hell of a lot of charisma too, as well as Giselle Shaw. But
the difference is Trinity's got the following, though. And that's
she's
what
got the following. She's got the star power and the history behind her. So all
Exactly.
that
And
comes into. That's why Mickey James is always so good too.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Simon's saying here, look, Trinity's done remarkably well to silence all the haters over her arrival and Impact. Totally. She's done a great job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Done a great job. So I think the knockouts division is in fantastic shape right now. But anyway, we then go backstage. And after Jay Vidal inadvertently cost Giselle Shaw her match against Trinity last week. Of course, it's inevitable. Shaw makes Vidal the tag team partner of John Skyler tonight as they face off against ABC in the return of the fans' revenge match. So I'm going to talk about that right now.
I wish I picked the girl.
Yeah, we're just gonna blast through the backstage stuff, okay? So we then get.
I thought Spanner was going to tear his head off, though. I must admit that was brilliant. The way he stared him, almost looked down at him like I can't believe she's actually taller than John Skyler.
I agree. We then get Gia Miller interviews Jonathan Gresham after he cheated to defeat Mike Bailey last week. Gresham says that he did it to prove a point that wrestlers can get away with anything in Impact Wrestling. Bailey confronts him, but then Gresham just backs off. Nothing was said about that. He just backed off. Interesting. Now, Paul Mathewson saying, as long as MK Ultra retain, I think something will happen between Tasha and Deanna. Ooh, we'll have to see. So that was that. So we know what we're getting now from Gresham, don't we? We then go to digital media champion Tommy Dreamer, who's in the ring. Of course, my favorite time waste, TV time waster, calls out Crazy Steve. Now, the thing here is, as much as I don't like having Tommy on stage, I love this section. I love this stuff because of how it ended. So last week, Steve obviously attacked Dreamer from behind with his Feast or Fire briefcase, which then obviously grants him that future digital media title shot. Dreamer praises Steve for being a great professional wrestler, despite being legally blind. Dreamer reminisces about the moments he shared with Steve over the years. Dreamer relates to Steve after they both saw their parents suffer. Dreamer says that if Steve wanted to shot his title, all he had to do was ask. They hug, and in the middle of the hug, they hug in the middle of the ring. Then the situation takes a sinister turn as Steve stabs Dreamer in the back with a fork.
Ow.
The moment Dreamer's face changed was fucking priceless. And what I liked about this segment was as he drove the fork into Tommy Dreamer's back, Steve whispers in his ear, "I love you." And you see that.
Yeah.
You see him say that. He goes, "I love you." And then the fork goes in and Dreamer's face completely changes. Now, I'm wondering, because I'm not being funny, but sticking a fork in someone's back, anything in someone's back, especially roughly in the area they did, that's very dangerous.
Yeah.
Because obviously you've got organs and shit, going on down that way. I mean, that's where your kidneys are and all that kind of stuff. So there's no way he drove that into Dreamer's back. There was something there that he put that in that was sewed into the back of the jacket or something. There's no way that he stuck that in Dreamer. I just don't believe it. But anyway, he did, as far as we're concerned.
Kayfabe.
And yeah, I thought this was fucking cool.
I thought it was a brilliant segment too. I loved it. I thought Dreamer is really good at putting promos together and storytelling, and that he did it again there. I thought, and if anything, spelling out something that Crazy Steve didn't want to talk about. I think that just made the situation worse for Dreamer. He was probably going to get a fork somewhere, but I don't think he would have got it twisted into his back the way Crazy Steve did. If he hadn't gone too deep. Tom Hannafin tried to get in too deep into Steve, and that's what broke him in the first place.
Yeah. And I mean, what Simon's saying is that you could see a bulge for the padded area on his back fairly clearly, but Tommy sold it really well. I think
Tommy sold it brilliantly.
I thought I thought this was a great segment. As much as I think Dreamer is a complete waste of TV time, this segment was fantastic, and it's really setting up something special. I think
Well, I saw it first on Twitter, and I just thought, "Fucking hell!" They really, And I was there waiting to see how many of the marks are going to be saying, "Oh, well, you can't do that." Oh, yeah, no. Never mind that we had LAX run, the OGs run over little Jimmy. Ali stabbed in the face by Sue Young.
I mean, we've had necks cut, throats
Rosemary's hung Sue Young twice, and things like that. But I was waiting to see when we get a backlash or something like that with just a fork in Tommy Dreamer's back. But no, there wasn't actually that much criticism.
You would not see that on any other wrestling program. I'm sorry, you wouldn't. A fork in the back.
Yeah, like Barry Monkey saying, PCO got his mouth stapled together. That was really hard to watch.
Yeah. That was a hell of a match, mate. God, jeez. Anyway, I love this segment, and I can't wait to see where this one goes from now on. Hopefully, Insane Steven will end Tommy Dreamer. That's the thoughts. Let's hope. But anyway, so then we then get back to in-ring action with the 10-man tag: Jake Something, Dirty Dango, Champagne Singh, Eric Young, and Jordan Grace. They were facing Brian Myers, Shearer, Kylan King, Jody Threat, and Bully Ray. Now, basically, the thing with this one was the winning team will then face off against each other next week, so this week, in a 5-way match to determine the number 1 place and the number 20 entrance in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet at Bound for Glory. So, and what happens here basically is Jake Something picks up the win for his team, which is obviously Dango, Singh, Young, and Grace. However, I love the bit where Jake Something basically destroys Dirty Dango in the process. We get that massive leap out. Oh my god, that was crazy. But there was some good stuff going on here.
Jody Threat biting Champagne Singh's finger. That was the biggest stand-up moment of the night for me. That was just so funny. That was
This was a really solid match. This was a really good match. I loved it. There was loads of like little kind of stories going on,
yeah,
within each other and stuff. And I enjoyed this. I thought this was a fun match. It was fun for what it was, and it was good to see the little internal feuds that was
yeah,
going on between
yeah.
people as well. Which
There's
was
still unfinished business between Kylan King and Jody Threat. I think we might have to see them go 1-on-1 on a countdown to Bound for Glory match.
yeah, maybe. But
And
I'll tell you this, Joe,
yeah,
that for me, and I'm going to say this now, the standout talent in that was Jodie Threat talking about Jodie Threat.
yeah,
She was brilliant.
Yeah, she was absolutely incredible. She took a hell of a beating throughout most of the match too. You know, Shing
Yeah.
and Sarah wouldn't fight each other. Sarah Young got pissed off and threw champagne sing into his corner and tagged him in.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy. Of course, Simon's saying that it was total chaos, but he loved it. So yeah,
I loved it. I've watched it twice. I love that match. It was fucking brilliant. But I watched it again mostly because Jodie Threat biting Champagne Sing's finger.
Yeah,
It reminded me of the first thing that that Star, my dog, did to Susie when she got rubbed up the wrong way. Star bit her right on the stub where her tail's meant to be. Right on her ass, and just
yeah, amazing. So we then went backstage, Joe. We then went backstage, and during an interview with Gia Miller, I say that, is it Gia or Gia? I don't know. I get mixed up. Josh Alexander says that even though he's not Impact World Champion anymore, he still has the champion's mentality. And that's exactly why he accepted Khan's challenge tonight, just weeks before his Impact World title match against Alex Shelley at Bound for Glory. Shelley then interrupts to tell Alexander that he will be on commentary for the match and will ensure that Alexander is 100% at the biggest event of the year, because obviously he wants to make sure that he beats Josh 1, 2, 3, beats him, at his best, to prove that he is the best. So that was interesting stuff. That we knew this straight away. I mean, as soon as you get the whole, I'm going to go, on commentary, or I'm going to be in your corner, that something's going to go wrong. So, so that was cool. We needed that to happen as well, to then, continue this sort of kind of like, it's kind of weird. It's like a mutual respect thing, but they're trying to get the one over on each other and stuff as well. So
it was like Eddie Edwards and Frankie Kazarian and things like that. And it takes one wrong move for everything to snap. Like I think Drew Galloway and EC3 was what I was originally trying to think about. They got when they were they were constantly getting involved in each other's matches to try and beat Matt Hardy, and then but just that one miscommunication, and EC3 whacks Drew Galloway on the head with the chair. And that just blew their rivalry up. It's something similar to that, because Alex Shelley you could see Alex Shelley turning heel, but they wanted to build it up the right way, and that they built it up brilliantly. He's shown his arrogance and blatant disrespect for Josh Alexander, but Josh has brushed it aside. Now, then he gets, we got to go into that at the end of the night, but he gets what happens to him at the end of the night, and
we'll get there. So we then get a like a promo, I guess you can call it, like a promo package from Mickie James. She's like, friends, peers, opponents. Mickie James challenges Trinity for the Knockouts world title in a first time ever dream match. I think they throw that around a bit much, but dream match at Bound for Glory. Backstage, Trinity says she will be proud to stand across the ring for Mickie James at Bound for Glory, which is great. Obviously, that's the build to that Knockouts title match, which is going to be outstanding, I'm sure. We then get ABC versus John Schuyler and Jay Vidal in the fans revenge match, and I have to say, the star of the show, TNI's very own William Gardner, he was fantastic. He did a good job of pulling the strap. That was cool. I'd love to have done that. But anyway, John Schuyler must pay for his sins for the good hands, as he and Jay Vidal battle ABC in the return to the fans' revenge. Fans surround the ring with leather straps. in. There you go. There it is. There it is. The legend himself, with leather straps in hand, and can assault the competitors if they are thrown to the outside. Bay quickly sends Skyler to the floor as a fan whips him in the back. Then Bay is tossed to the outside, but the fans choose not to whip him, which was cool. I like that. I like that.
I loved it.
Skyler's,
And
yeah, I
Matthew
did.
Wade was going bloody insane on the commentary. What he was.
That was so good. Skyler stops one fan from whipping him, but he gets blindsided by someone else. Bay launches himself off the back of Austin, taking out Skyler with a back elbow in the corner. Vidal is the next competitor to get whipped. Moments later, Vidal distracts the referee, allowing Skyler to hang up Austin on the ropes. Austin bangs his back with a springboard kick, which I love that springboard kick to Vidal. Skyler gets whipped all around the ringside. He just literally goes around the whole ring getting whipped.
You can see that his back was bright red.
It's crazy. Until he steals one of their whips. Bay soars over the top rope, colliding with Skyler on the outside. Back in the ring, ABC hit the 1-2 sweep and on Skyler for the win. Now, this was brilliant. This was brilliant. And I totally agree, Barry. Getting a selfie with Bill must have been Chris Bay's highlight of the match.
Yeah,
but
Tom Hannaford mentioning him as well, because Matthew Wade was complaining about everything.
I think it was just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. I thought this was a lot of fun. I mean, it's not the best wrestling in the world. You know what I mean? It's not best in ring stuff, but it was fun, and it's cool to get. Where else are you going to get fan interaction like this on national TV show? It's just not going to happen, is it? But I thought this was fun, a lot of fun. What about you?
I thought it was a good fun match too. Like you said, you're not going to get this kind of interaction anywhere else, and I don't think it would be as well coordinated or organized if it was done at a bigger company as well. This was just brilliantly put together, and this is only the fourth time it's happened. It's the first time I've ever seen it happen, so it was new to me, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. Definitely fun. Now, Eddie and Frankie then vow to end the rivalry once and for all backstage. We'll talk about where this is going later, but they vow to end this rivalry. It's going to be over and done with. Thank God, because I just think they've drawn it out a little bit too much, to be honest, for me. It had a lot of potential, but I don't think it's really reached it from a storyline point of view, which is a shame. But anyway, yeah, there you go. Please God, end this bloody rivalry from Barry. No, exactly. I think it's not really gone where they were hoping it was going to go. So it's a real shame, but it is what it is. Hopefully this will be it. So we then move on. We've got Moose versus Bhupinder Gujjar with an Impact World title opportunity in his possession. Moose refocuses on singles competition against Bhupinder. Moose hits two strong Irish whips into the corner. Moose hits the Uranagi, but Gujjar avoids a follow-up spear. Moose quickly shuts down his momentum with a big clothesline, followed by a thunderous thunderbomb. Moose hits the spear to get the win. That was pretty much it, really. It wasn't, I don't think it was a squash as such.
Yeah,
because but it was not very long. There's no way Gujjar was going to take Moose out. That's for sure. We then head to after the match. This is where it all sort of got interesting, because after the match, Steve Macklin confronts Moose and Brian Myers in the middle of the ring. Macklin lays claim to Moose's Feast or Fire briefcase after he was the one who retrieved it from above the ring post until Rhino gored it out of his hands. Now, that is true, but the rules state that your feet have to be on the floor out of the ring, right? That's the rules. That's the way it is. Moose thinks this is a setup and expects Bully Ray to attack at any moment. Macklin says that Bully is too busy running from PCO, but he's not afraid of the monster because he's defeated him before. The lights go out, and of course, PCO appears in the ring. PCO sends Myers to the outside before taking out Moose and Macklin with a double clothesline. As Macklin is retreating up the ramp, he gets gored by Rhino once again. Okay, so already he was given a gore from hell a week or so. Was it last week or the week before?
That was last week. Last week it was. That was fucking brutal.
It was. I mean, God, Jesus Christ! I thought he'd injured him. I'll be honest.
That was one of the best backstage assaults since Johnny Impact and Alberto El Patron. Or that was unbelievable. That was bloody brilliant.
Yeah, so obviously that's going to set up a match for Bound for Glory, which we have then later found out that we're going to get a Monsters Ball. PCO. I believe it's PCO, Moose, Rhino, and Macklin are going to be in a Monsters Ball at Bound for Glory. So
that's going to be fucking good.
That's going to be good. Yeah, that's going to be good. Okay. So ABC then revealed that they are going to challenge for the Impact World Tag Team titles at Bound for Glory. But who will their opponents be? Director of Authority Santino Morelli announces that the next week, the Rascals will defend their titles against Rich Swann and Sami Callihan. So whoever wins that one is going to be facing them at BFG. Of course, we know that's going to be the Rascals. So the Rascals, obviously, versus ABC, and that's going to be interesting to see where that one goes.
We'll see Myron Reed either this week or at Bound for Glory.
Exactly. I have a feeling, I don't think we're going to see him this week, but I think, he's going to be at Bound for Glory. There's no doubt about that, and he will help the Rascals retain, I'm sure. And then we've got a feud moving forward. That's my thoughts on that one. Chris Sabin vows to walk out of Bound for Glory still the X Division champion when he battles Kenta for the first time ever. I didn't realize that was a first time ever matchup. So
I know, it's weird. Wow,
that's gonna be cool. We then get Josh Alexander versus Con. Impact World Champion Alex Shelley obviously joins Tom and Matt on commentary for tonight's main event. The bell rings. Alexander immediately goes for the ankle lock. Con quickly fights him off, but Alexander takes Con off his feet with a diving shoulder block from the top. I gotta say that taking him off his feet that early, I was surprised. I thought it was going to take a while for him to chop him down a little bit, but he takes him right off his feet with a diving shoulder on the top rope. Con runs through Alexander with a running splash. Diener trips up Alexander from the outside, allowing Con to turn the side with a spine buster. Alexander tries to wear the big man down with an abdominal stretch, but Con launches him into the ropes. Alexander uses momentum of Con against himself as he hits explosive German suplex. Alexander crashes and burns on the moonsault attempt, allowing Con to follow up with a sit-down powerbomb for a 2 count. Now, Alexander has Con on his shoulders, but inadvertently takes out the referee in the process. Diener is about to hit Alexander with a steel chair, but Shelley pries it out of his hands. Diener ducks, causing Alexander to strike Shelley at ringside. Now, that's what we were talking about earlier.
That's back in the ring. Alex Shelley can use that now as an excuse as to why he flatlines everybody.
Exactly. Back in the ring, Alexander counters a choke slam into the ankle lock. Alexander hits a C4 spike to win, which is impressive when you're talking the man the size. That was impressive.
Josh is still a bit banged up after coming back from injury too. You could tell that as well. To still pull that off was just brilliant.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was fantastic. So fair play to him. After the bell, Shelley argues with Alexander in the middle of the ring. Shelley takes out Alexander with a shell shock as Impact goes off there. So I thought it was a great show last week. I loved the way it flowed. It continued the storylines. Pretty much every storyline got some kind of continuation in there that's running at the moment. I thought it was a really good show. What did you think?
It was another good show. It was another good, like you said, it carried every storyline forward. It pushed every storyline that was stagnant forward a bit more. And it set up some good matches for Bound for Glory and after Bound for Glory already. And it's just added so much to the build that people just have, people probably haven't taken notice of yet, or haven't been able to take notice of yet.
However, highlight for
on.
me, Tommy Dreamer getting forked. Do you see what I did there? See what I did there? He got forked.
So, the highlight for me is just Jody Threat biting Champagne Singh finger. That was just
mate. Have you got a fetish? Have you got some sort of fetish?
That was just too funny. it was just so unexpected.
Fair play. Now, guys, before we go on, we need you guys to hit that subscribe button and share the show. Also, give us a thumbs up. All these things, they help us go up the rankings. So hit the thumbs up. If you need to subscribe because you're not a subscriber, then please consider doing that. We're not far away from 2,000 subscribers on the channel now. Every subscribe counts. Get those subs in. If you're new to the channel, please, please, please hit that sub button. Hit the bell so you never miss any notifications. And of course, share. Share us around. Let everybody know how good Impact it is, how good Total Nonstop Impact is as a channel. Let people know. Let people know. And of course, we love you guys in the chat. We love you guys. We want you guys to contribute constantly. Let us know your thoughts so that we can communicate with you as well as we go through the show. It means a lot to us, your interaction. And already you've had some great input from you guys. Keep it coming. Now, this week, digital media exclusive match. There wasn't one. This week, main event Monday. There wasn't one. However, we do have a match for BTI, which sometimes we don't get very often. So, Alan Angels versus Laredo Kid. Now, this, two guys roughly the same size.
Yeah.
Both have that sort of kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? The high flying kind of.
They got the Lucha Libre style.
They both got that kind of style. I mean, Angel's not quite Lucha Libre, but almost. But, you know, let's hope Laredo Kid's wearing a cup. That's for sure. But I think this is going to be a really good match. And make sure that you guys check out the BTI match. So I think it's definitely worth checking out. What do you think on this one, Joe? I'm
really looking forward to this match. It also adds more to Laredo Kid versus Samurai Del Sol after Bound for Glory for me.
Yeah,
I want to see what he can, if he can do. Well, we know he can do amazing things in the ring, but I want to see if he can do an amazing things with Laredo Kid. What's he going to do with Samurai Del Sol following Bound for Glory? It's going to be so interesting. I'm just looking forward to this match. And
I think
Laredo Kid is one of the best workers on Impact's roster. You know, he's really pushed himself since coming back from injury.
He's doing a great job. I've always liked the Laredo Kid. I mean, he's a lot older than people realize he is. Well.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the fact that he wears a mask helps. But he's in incredible shape. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, no, he's not much of a kid. He should really be called Laredo Bloke. I think. No, Laredo.
I don't know what
man.
Bloke is.
Laredo man.
I'm not sure what bloke is in Spanish. So
I don't know either, but he's definitely no kid. That's for sure. Slowpoke seems to think we all get around and have got STDs. Sorry, you mean subs? Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, we do need to get the subs. But anyway, so we then move on to Impact Wrestling tomorrow night. Now we've got the Eddie Edwards versus Frankie Kazarian 2 out of 3 falls. So remember, guys,
I called it. Yes, it was
Yeah, you did call it last week, but we've got no idea what order this is in. So I'm just going with any order. Okay, so there you go. Eddie Edwards versus Frankie Kazarian 2 out of 3 falls. Hopefully this is going to end. It's done. All right, it's got to be done. Simon Plum, Angels have really worked well since he signed. Just shows how underused he was in AEW.
Exactly. I fully agree.
Alan Angels is a good, solid, reliable mid-card talent type. Every company needs a few of similar to Jody Threat in that. Yeah, definitely. I agree. So we got Sammy and Rich Swann versus the Rascals. Obviously, winner to face ABC at BFG. Pretty convinced that's going to be the Rascals. We've also got Something, Grace, Dango, Young, and Singh. That's the winner enters the gauntlet last and the loser first match. So that's going to be pretty good.
Yeah. Who's your prediction for this one, guys, in the chat?
Yeah, who do you guys think? Who do you guys think?
Who's coming in
it's gonna
first,
be?
and who's coming into number 20? For me, I think it's Champagne Sting's going to be coming in first, and it'll be Jordan Grace or Jake something coming in number 20.
I agree. That's exactly what I thought. I think it's either one of those two. Definitely, I totally agree. Mir saying that Sami Callihan deserves to get paid what he believes he's worth. Something Impact didn't want to do. God, dear Mir. Were you in the negotiations? Do you have any clue what you're talking about?
I did post Sami Callihan's interview he did. I think it was on last week's video.
It wasn't really about money. I don't think.
None of it was about money at all. It was about his schedule and their schedule for the end of the year and most at the start of next year with all the production updates. It just wasn't going to work out for either of them. They couldn't come to a compromise there. It was never to do with money.
Yeah. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, he has got a lot to offer, and I don't think the relationship between Sami and Impact will change.
No, it's not breaking down. He left, and first thing he did was say he's got full respect for everybody. And he's still friends with everybody on the roster. Even he mentions that a lot of them work with him on Wrestling Revolver, and he's at the moment his company is the only one that you can get AEW, New Japan and Impact Wrestling talent in one place.
Exactly.
So, Sami Callihan is. Wrestling Revolver is like what Impact Wrestling is doing for companies for Mexico, Japan, and the US and Canada, and Wrestling Revolver is like an alternative. So
I think Revolver is amazing,
and they bounce off each other brilliantly because the talent all works so well together.
I think it's at the end of the day, that's where it is, and I don't think we've seen the last of Sami Callihan. I think he'll be gone for a little while, and I think all of a sudden he'll turn up somewhere.
Yeah. Even if Sami still does some stuff like Callihan Uncensored for Impact Wrestling, even if he does anything like that, I'm still, I'd love to see that still. He's because all this stuff he does, he creates and edits himself, and that's something he's really passionate about too. And I used to do a lot of creating and editing of my own videos and stuff. Recently, not been able to do it because I've not had the technology to get it done with all the updates and stuff computers have nowadays. But I used to do a lot of videos and stuff. And so when Sami Callihan talked about how all that really clicked with me as well, because the amount of effort that goes into stuff like that, planning it, prepping
it's
it,
time consuming. It's time consuming. That's the thing. All these sort of things are time consuming. So, and he does so much. And he needs to have time to be able to do all these things. If he's going to make Revolver a true success story, which, don't get me wrong, they already are. But I mean, if he wants to take it to the next level, he wants them to become a proper tour in promotion, like they've started to go to Texas, and they're going to other places. Then he needs to put the time into that. And I just think that it's not going to work out. Probably for the money that he wanted. Based on what they were going to get out of that for the money in terms of, his time. That's the thing. Yeah. It's about time. What they were going to get. It probably wasn't worth it. So I think it's a case of, yes, he's not available at the moment and he's not going to be around at the moment, but I don't think he's going to go anywhere else. And I think we'll see Sami back at some point, even if it's, turning up in Ohio or when they go there, or you know what I mean. He's not going to be gone. So we'll see. And again, like Slowpoke is saying, Sami and Rich's stuff creatively, they didn't really have a lot much going on. So maybe with Sami going, we can then start to see more from Rich Swann, possibly.
Yeah, I can see Rich Swann going back up to the world title contention, because I'd love to see him and Josh Alexander go at it again. That would be so cool.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
that
I
would be
agree.
like Michael Elgin and Eddie Edwards all over again. To see Rich
Yes.
Swann and Josh Alexander go like 3 or 4 matches like Mike Bailey and Jonathan Gresham are doing now. That would be so entertaining.
I think so. You're talking about a real top quality talent in Rich Swann. He's fantastic. So it would be good to see him get a decent run at something at some point. Maybe not world title. I don't know. I think more X Division would be good. I'd like to see him make a run for the X Division title. I think that would be really cool. But again, even if you put him in that world title scene, you're going to get good matches because Rich Swann is that good. So, and he is a former world champion, so it makes sense, definitely. We've also got Tasha Steelz again, 2 weeks in a row. This time, she's going to be facing Courtney Rush of the Death Dolls. So he's definitely getting she's definitely getting warmed up in the ring, getting ready for Bound for Glory. I'm assuming this is going to turn into a tag match next week between Deanna, Tasha, and the Death Dolls. And then, of course, they'll beat the Death Dolls, which then gives them that first sort of kind of reason to go into. They've beaten a former tag champ, which takes them into the Bound for Glory. So,
Tasha still has pinned one half of the tag team champions already too, which is what. But Deanna Praza will getting involved now with Tasha Steelz the week afterwards, and it'll also be a way to write Courtney Rush and Jessica off for a little while, until we get Rosemary Havoc back.
Yeah,
as well.
Totally. And I think we've got to have Rosemary and Havoc back by Halloween. Come on.
Even for a short while. Or
they're going to disappear into the undead realm. We'll do some. They've got to do some of that. When we get to Chicago, we've got to see some undead realm stuff filmed.
Chicago seems to be the place where all the undead stuff happens. That's where Rosemary hung Su Yung there twice.
Yeah,
and that's where Taya Valkyrie. I think that's where Taya Valkyrie got sent into the undead realm too when she went to look for Jessica.
Yeah, a lot's happened in Chicago. There must be a portal. There must be a specific portal, but that's where the door is, isn't it?
Yeah.
The door to the undead realm is in Chicago.
The documentary that we've been watching over here recently is all the stuff about Skinwalker Ranch. Where is there like a wormhole or a portal something over this huge place? I think they're looking in the wrong place. They should go to Chicago and look there. See if they can find an interdimensional portal there.
You could be right. Slowpoke seems to think that we could finally see the return of Su Yung.
She was teasing something. Even
though he spelled her name
earlier.
wrong, obviously not that big a fan. Greg,
Su Yung was. I saw a tweet from Su Yung about earlier this week saying, "Do you miss me?"
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
I would love to see Su Yung back, and that would be one of the biggest pops for a while. That would be so good if Su Yung could come back.
I think it would be huge. I think it'd be fantastic. But guys, that's just about all we have time for this week. But don't forget to tune in to the TNI Impact Review Show tomorrow night, live on YouTube and Twitch, directly after Impact is aired on Access TV, Fight Network in Canada, Impact Plus, YouTube is Zone, of course, the Zone. Look, someone else spelling Su Young's name.
No, it might be.
What the hell's going on?
It might be her new personality.
Oh, that's true. Actually, that's true.
Hello, Courtney. How you doing?
Hey, Courtney, thanks for joining us as we're closed. Please don't forget to head over to TNI Patreon for exclusive extra content when you sign up. And, of course, join the Discord where we pretty much talk about everything Impact and or wrestling related. Loads of other sports, even movies get spoken about on there. Loads of stuff. So please don't forget to head over to our Patreon for exclusive extra content when you sign up. And, of course... I've already said that, haven't I? There's me missing what's going. I'm not saying it again. God damn it! All the TNI shows are available.
How you get advertising across? You repeat it over and over and over again.
I suppose, yeah. We need subliminal stuff going on, like frame, buy a T-shirt, buy a T-shirt, buy a T-shirt.
5 or 6 seconds.
Yeah. All TNI shows are available to all you listen on the Go fans as audio only by SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you list your favorite shows. But listen, where can we find you on the socials, Joe?
You can find me on Twitter at JOK Empty Space. You can jump onto Twitter or Facebook, look for hashtag Empty Space, hashtag Into the Void. Or if you fancy to tickle your taste buds and your sense of humor, hashtag Daily Giggle, but approach it with an open mind and you just might keep your sanity.
Lovely. And of course, if you want to find out more about the Bison, I'm available on the X at Lord Bison 45. Go and give me a follow. I'm absolutely smashed through the 2,000 follows mark. So let's keep that going, guys. It would be good to start heading towards 2,100. That would be quite amazing if we can get up to that. We're doing well. We're getting there. Can I just mention, don't forget, we do have our Pro Wrestling Tees shop where you can go and get loads of fantastic designs on there. We've got the Lord Bison shirt. They got the TNI-UK shirts on there. We got the 2-man booth still on there, as well as the 3-man booth. We've also got all the other Total Nonstop Impact t-shirts on there as well. Go and check it out. We appreciate it when you guys buy a shirt. We really do. It does help us fund the channel. So if you do fancy supporting the channel, get over there and buy a shirt. We also got the Spreadshirt shop as well. All the information is down below in the description of the show. For any of the links to any of this stuff, go and check it out, whether it be Discord, whether it be our I was going to say OnlyFans, and we don't have an OnlyFans, guys. All right. We don't have an OnlyFans. As much as I know some of you would be very excited about the fact but we do have a Patreon. All right, so we do have Patreon, so go and join that. But anyway, all these things help us, and of course, if you I knew Slowpoke could pick up on that. Look, TNI OnlyFans. We don't have an OnlyFans, okay? That's it. We don't have any. Oh, look at that. Look, Slowpoke wants to see some J-Bone stuff. Oh, really? Interesting. Interesting. But anyway, we don't have an OnlyFans, but we do have a Patreon, so go and check that out. That would be really cool. But of course, you can, if you choose to give us a super sticker or anything like that, we very much appreciate it because it really does help keep the channel going. All right, so we really appreciate it. Now, guys, please take the time to help us out moving up the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. There's some that don't cost nothing. Give us a thumbs up. And if you're new to us and you like what you see, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to give the bell a tickle, a squeeze, or a smash to never miss any of the great content from us here in the UK and, of course, the US team each and every week. With loads of content coming out. It's not only us. Obviously, we got the US teams as well. I'm still waiting on a new interview, which is coming very soon. So keep your eye open for some more Impact-related interviews. That would be great. But, guys, with all that said, I've been Bison. He has been the man coming to us from the void, the Joker. And this has been episode 154 of Impacted. Take care.
Take care.
We're Bison! We are Impact!